Hello my fellow gamers and welcome to the Sunday show for Group C. So we have done the third group of the tournament, only one left to go guys, which is next week, Group D. We got some really good players playing in that one, but this was the one where at the very beginning Jenna and I were both sat there thinking, who could get through this, who could win this, and neither of us could really say for certain. And really happy to say the players did not let us down. This group has definitely been the group for the most closest games. I think it was pretty much every battle. People couldn't tell who was going to win till it came out of the victory or defeat screen at the end. It was all that close and absolutely fantastic battles to commentate and watch. And I know the people in the comments who have been watching it as well have been really enjoying it, because yeah, it is literally just everyone going, wow, I didn't see that coming. That is literally this group in a nutshell. Is no one knows who's going to win in the matchup in the two factions, and then when they battle, no one really knows until the very end what's going on. It was an absolutely fantastic group. So let's go over to round one, where we are Wyvern versus Zardar. So Bretonnia versus the Toon Kings. There's nothing that kicks off a good group game, a group stage for a tournament, than having a good Holy Crusade, and Wyvern leading the way with Hippogriff Knights and just fantastic mobility, eventually actually crushing Zardar, being able to pick off the target he needed to. Even though he had, I thought, a weaker front line, I thought Zardar was going to just stomp through it because of that stronger front line, and he had the charge to break through, and he had the archers and that. But actually it turned out that because Wyvern had the mobility, he picked the perfect targets to counter, destroyed that target, then moved to the next one, and made sure he destroyed that target before moving to the following target. And just like that, it was great to watch. He slowly picked Zardar's army apart, and eventually Zardar just had nothing to work with, unfortunately. So that first round went to Wyvern, and of course I should be pointing out all the links to the channels will be in the description below, so you can watch their videos, and links to the actual battle on my channel will be in the description as well. So if you're like, oh, before I want to find out the result, that looks like a good matchup, I missed it, you can just click on the link below, watch the video, then watch the wrap up. So that was a win for Wyvern versus Zardar. We'll then move to round two, which was BlackIron Battle versus Loremaster of Sotek. Again, a great matchup. We had the Greenskins versus Norsca, which I believe is the first time we had that. You had the Greenskins that had a nice varied front line of solid black orcs, orc boys, which you don't see orc boys that often. Most people just get goblins and then tear them up to the same cost. No, he went with some orc boys, and he had a bit of mobility, but Loremaster Sotek had two of the mammoths, he had the cavalry, he had all this infantry, and it was an absolutely fantastic battle. And what was fantastic is BlackIron army broke somewhat. Most of the army broke after taking a lot of Norsca. They ran away and scattered, and Loremaster Sotek tried to chase him down. He was also trying to focus on the Arachnic that was running around. You had Azark on his Wyvern charging people, attacking. You did have some of the BlackIrons that lasted longer than the others. So what ended up happening, and I'm not sure how it happened, but BlackIron was actually able to turn the battle around from a position of Greenskins fleeing to, again, being able to target certain units that needed to go, like the Wanderer, Wolfric the Wanderer was taken out, and suddenly the battle seemed to turn. The Greenskins were coming back, and then Force of the Norsca was struggling to hold the ground they had, and you were just there watching it going, hang on a minute, the Greenskins were broken. Loremaster Sotek should win this. He pretty much destroyed the army, and yet there were units that would not break, and BlackIron recovered quickly and was able to then bring the fight back, and in fact won the battle. So it was a complete 180 on what everyone thought was happening. That it was literally within a minute, 1 minute it looked like he was being smashed and destroyed, and within about 60 seconds or so, you suddenly, the Norskins were fleeing, and we couldn't quite figure out what happened. So, CA, BlackIron overpowered, please nerf. We'll move on to round three. This one we had Wyvern versus BlackIron Battle, so the two winners of their respective first battles, battling out. And again, Wyvern was playing as the Empire, so he was humans again, and he was up against Tomb Kings again. And quite similar build, actually, looking at it. The Tomb Guard army. Had some mobility in there. Definitely had the Skeleton Horsemen and that, light cavalry. But Wyvern coming in with the Hammer of the Witches and an elite Reiksguard cavalry force, he was able to hold the line with his spearmen, which wouldn't break. And when they did, you still have the Sons of Sigma holding the line, being unbreakable, and able to prioritise his shooting and that, and had the Reiksguard just going through, smashing anything that got through to the back lines of the Empire forces. Again, this was one where BlackIron Battles, it looked like he was dominating. He was smashing the front line, his cavalry was all over the back line, he had Carrion as well flying in, he had the archers shooting in, and yet somehow Wyvern was able to win the backline skirmishes while holding the front line, just kind of holding them, just keeping them at distance, where he dealt with the backline, and then somehow was able to turn it around. And eventually he did take out Arkin the Black, which then meant the rest of the force just fell apart. So Wyvern 2-0, and both games with humans against Tomb Kings. So future notes for anyone that's taking on Wyvern: don't bring Tomb Kings, just don't do it. He will just own you. So we'll move on now to the third battle, which was Zardar versus Loremaster of Sotek, and both of these belong sub-factions, so it wasn't High Elves and Lizardmen, you had Averlorn and the Coat of Sotek, so very fit in there. Again, we had a good solid line of Zardar, but he also had a dragon, which quickly got taken out by all the flyers that Loremaster of Sotek had. Quickly took that out. The front line of all the heavy skinks and red-crested skinks, that's one of their frenzy and heavy, armor piercing now, smashing through the spearmen line, and even the cavalry battle, like this ancient salamander unit. Sorry, it wasn't an ancient one, was it? It was just a pack of them. Got a beautiful flanking position, was shooting down on the spearmen. The cavalry flank was beating Zardar's cavalry flank, and when Loremaster Sotek had the skies, he went, right, I'm going for the archers. And this is when everything turned around, because the archers suddenly focused on one unit at a time, wiping out the air superiority that Loremaster Sotek had just won, and then was able to win the cavalry battle, pretty much, and then turned the tables and actually destroyed Loremaster of Sotek's army and broke them. It was just like, hang on a minute, wasn't Zardar like in a position where it looked like Loremaster Sotek had him on all fronts? Yeah. Oh, okay. And this is the theme throughout the whole group, is literally every game is like this. It's hilarious, just where it seems to be just constant turnarounds and things like that. So that is a win for Zardar Total War. Unfortunately, another loss for Loremaster of Sotek. And with the Coat of Sotek as well. Oh dear, that's not going to go down well, is it? That's not going to go down well. So we'll quickly move on to the fifth battle. This was against Wyvern versus Loremaster of Sotek. And Wyvern, he's got sick of being the organised humans. He's steadily decreased as the game's gone. So he was the splendid Bretonnia, and then he moved down to the Empire. Now he was playing as Norsca. And Loremaster Sotek went vampire counts. So it's not Tomb Kings, but it is undead. So this entire tournament so far, Wyvern has had to fight undead factions all the way through. What a sport. What a good sport. And it was, I can't remember the name of the battle now, but it's like the Steps of Issa, the Form Pits one, where it's all like you got hills, islands of hills, but in between the hills is massive dips, all full of woodlands. So Wyvern decided to go with a very infantry heavy. He had a couple of mammoths, he had a lot of horsemasters as well for support, but he was hugely outnumbered, nearly 2-1 by Loremaster Sotek of his undead. And the undead had Terrorgeist, he had Blood Knight, he had Sternguard, is that it? Graveguard. Sternguard of the Vampire Coast. So yeah, Graveguard unit. He had a lot. But Wyvern, once again, able to put it out, and he stomped the infantry, mainly using really overpowered magic. And when I say overpowered, I mean he overcasted it. Not that the spell itself is overpowered. No, he overcasted a lot of magic. Not only that, but Loremaster of Sotek forgot about his Blood Knights. Yeah, didn't get involved to the end. They did take Wulfric the Wanderer out, but not before they took out the Red Duke, which meant that the Red Army pretty much just fell apart. Just completely fell apart. And once again, Wyvern able to target, prioritise, and smash the undead down. He is clearly a champion for the light. He is a champion for everything that's unnaturals, all the undead, because Wyvern, out of his 3 games, has battled 3 undead players and has won all 3 of them, and spectacularly, I might add. Fantastic games there. We'll now move on to the final matchup, which was Zardar versus BlackIron Battle. So Zardar Total War, he went with the Dark Elves, and BlackIron Battles went for the Dwarfs. So we knew this was going to be a grudgeon. There were going to be some grudgeons in this one. And what an interesting battle as well. The Dwarves quite closed formation. Well, they were spaced out, but you know, they were together. Compared to the Dark Elves, who had units everywhere. And some of it, I was very questionable about how was it going to play out. And yet he really brought back, mainly because of the Shades. He had these 3 units of Shades that got onto the hilltop, which overlooked the entire Dwarf army, so he could pick whichever target he wanted. And in the end, the main army of Zardar got destroyed by the Dwarfs. But the Dwarves that were left got absolutely massacred by the 3 units of Shades. The 3 units of Shades had, I think it was like just under half the ammo left by the end of the battle, so they came off the hill around, and the Dwarves had no choice but to charge them, and the Shades just gunned them down, and it was horrific. And you still had some chariots left. You still had I want to say Malekith. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but you had him there on his chat as well, breaking the Dwarfs up, and the Dwarfs were trying to focus him in, but the Shades were then coming in and gunning down anyone. If they charged the Shades, they got gunned down first. If they weren't, they got gunned down afterwards. It was a horrific battle. It was definitely some grudges will be written in the books for that one. So that was a win for Zardar versus BlackIron Battles. We'll now go over the overview and see which 2 players made it through to the next round. With this very nice fancy scoreboard we have in front, you can see, yes, Wyvern has made it through. No surprises there, with 3 wins out of 3 games. Next is Zardar Total War Warrior, who only lost against Wyvern, and then he won the next 2 games. So he is set to advance to the next round of group games. Unfortunately, BlackIron Battles won't be making it with only 1 win, and that was against Loremaster of Sotek. And at the very bottom, we have Loremaster of Sotek. Didn't win any games, surprisingly. He normally does really well. Obviously, I must have caught him at a bad time, or he just wasn't in practice. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he was half asleep. Maybe he didn't do the correct prayers to Sotek. We don't know. But unfortunately, he did get 3 losses, and so won't be taking any further part in this tournament. So a big thank you for BlackIron Battles and Loremaster of Sotek for taking part. And getting their videos on the channel, and you know, shout about it and getting involved. Really appreciate them taking the time to do so. And of course, Zardar Total Warrior and Wyvern, big shout out to you guys. Well done, well played, and we'll be seeing them again in the next stage. The next stage. So what's happening next week? Well, we have Group D, which has got General Confusion, Dav Plays, Gojira, and Monsters Abound taking part. Now, Monsters Abound is the newest of the YouTubers taking part in a YouTubers tournament, so that's going to be really exciting. In fact, he is, just looking at my calendar now, he is the first game playing. No, he's not. It's General Confusion versus Gojira. I don't know why I got that mixed up. Yeah, so he will be taking part in the second round Tuesday with Dav Plays, one of the stronger players for the group. We like to break them in gently. But the first round, so the game you'll be seeing tomorrow, will be Gojira versus General Confusion. And this is the final group of the first round, guys. So we've got a whole week more of games. After that, 2 people should be winners and move on to the next stage. And then the following stage you'll see is 4 of the winners. So the 8 winners are then put into 2 groups of 4. And they'll then be battling out all over again to try and get in the top 2 positions. Anyway, that's been all for now. I think that's covered pretty much everything. That was a very long video compared to the others, but that's because there was so much to cover. And fantastic games by everyone. Really enjoyed it. So guys, do hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. A big shout out and thank you to everyone that already has. It's nice to see the channel have a bit of a jump after a bit of a stale period of gaining subs and losing in equal numbers, so it just stayed where it was. Now we've actually got it jumping up. So a big thank you to those that already have. If you haven't, do hit it. There's plenty more games to come. And hit that like button and comment your thoughts below about how you thought Group C. What was your favourite matchup? Because in my opinion, all 6 games were absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyable. But of course, guys, what are your thoughts? Who did you think was going to win? Are you happy with the 2 that did get through? And what are your thoughts for next week's games? General Confusion, Daft Plays, Gojira, and Monsters Abound. And yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you tomorrow for the first round of Group D. Till then, guys, take care.